Welcome, Scorpio. Welcome to Kat's Real Life Mystic Tarot. I've been wanting to do your reading today and thinking about you and meditating on Scorpio. And I was asked to pull a Major Arcana card I have this big, beautiful deck of Major Arcana, only Major Arcana. And I got the Magician. And I got the kind of, I don't know if I want to call it a mantra or something. You can do magic, or I can do magic. Scorpios can do magic. So I got that. So let's see how that pans out today in your reading. I'm going to do a horoscope spread for you. It's going to tell you everything from every different department of your life. You're going to get a little bit of an insight on. I'm going to use the vice versa tarot deck. And while I'm shuffling, go ahead and just focus into the center of the image and just take some in-breath, an in-breath and an out-breath. And just come to center. We'll meditate as I shuffle. And just let it all out. Okay, we're going to begin. First house energies, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Okay, Scorpio, let's get started. So in your first house, and your first house represents your self-image or just how you project in the world, I have the King of Cups. And you are a water sign, so that's definitely you are you. So you're coming out in the world really fully as yourself with some self-mastery in your emotional department. We're seeing the backside, vice versa has two, front and back. And I think this meaning that you're really true to your emotions. If you need to walk away, you walk away. If you need to tell someone what they might possibly need to hear, you go ahead and do that. It's a full expression, and it's not particularly new to you. You've been expressing yourself this way for a long time, and more power to you. We need those people in this world that'll tell it like it is. Not afraid to, I don't know, lose attachments or to, wake anyone up or startle anyone with the insights that you have. So you just go ahead and express yourself. And that's a beautiful energy. It's a good card to have in your first house. Your second house is in what you value and what you have besides you have as an asset besides what you value. And we have the Ace of Cups here, or Ace of Swords, sorry. So Ace of Swords, so knowledge, truth. You value truth. That kind of goes along with your first card, King of Cups energy. You are not afraid of the truth. What was that? You can't handle the truth? I don't know if that was Jack Nicholson in one of the movies, but you can handle the truth and you aren't afraid to share that with others, and it's a beautiful thing. So you value the truth. In your third house, and this is what's going on mentally with you, this is the Temperance card. You're working on moderation, not being extreme one way or the other, not taking anything too far, no matter what it is. So in your mind, and your mind being moderate is an excellent place to be. I mean, to be able to stop, when crazy mind happens, or some kind of thinking that's kind of irrational. And maybe you've had that before. You've been able to kind of like get back to reality and just, is that really happening, or is this my fears coming up, or is this my anger coming up, which is usually fear anyways. My desires and wants, are they really going to serve me in the end? Those types of thoughts. And it looks like you've been working on that, and that you have a certain level of achievement in this area. So that's your mental energies, third house. Your fourth house, which did appear in reverse, I typically don't use reversals unless it really fits into the reading. But what you have is the Wheel of Fortune in your fourth house. So this could go either way. Either you're having good fortune, you purchased a home, maybe you're having some costs related to a home or apartment, maybe you've moved into a more expensive apartment and it's a little bit trying for you. Something in the home is, most of the time this is financial, is either costing you a lot or bringing in money, or maybe both. So we'll clarify this later, what that is. But and it could be someone else in your home that came into some money or possibly lost some money. So we'll get to that later. Your fifth house is your creativity and love affairs, relationships. And it looks like you're not that thrilled with the partners that have been available to you. You feel like, I've seen this before, I know what this person is doing. It's tired and I'm bored and I don't know if I care, type of energy. And this is in your relationships. It can be with your children, because this is that house, and it also could be with creative projects. So you're just not seeing any motion forward if it's a creative project. Your kids are possibly just trying you out, maybe teenagers, could be that. But you're just bored with what you're encountering. So my suggestion might be to do something out of the norm, break the boredom pattern. But 4 cups energy in your fifth house. Your sixth house also, it came up in reverse. And this is a message. So your sixth house is your house of work, projects, service to others, can be your pets, if there's something going on with your pet. There's a message here, possibly at work, feeling it's more something like that, that came to you, but you're not accepting, possibly, because of in reverse. There's a message that you heard and it's not sinking in right now. Someone gave you a message and you're not fully accepting it. And it can be any type of message. It could be a negative message and you're just like, yeah, wasn't me and I didn't, that was somebody else's issue. Or it could be that they say you're really a great worker and you feel like, well, they're blowing smoke up my ass because they're just trying to get something. So there might be something like that. There's a message that came in at work, and I mean, maybe just think about it. We'll clarify later, but just think about accepting that message. Seventh house, 9 of Wands. So in your seventh house, this was also reversed. 9 of Wands, gosh, I always liken it to, I used to love Everest movies, and they do the final push to the top. And it's the most exciting time, obviously. They're going into the death zone, and they're exhausted. They can't eat. They can't digest. Nothing in their body is working, and it's just that final push beyond what you're really even capable of. And so that's coming up in your seventh house. So if you do have a partner, and the seventh house is your partnership house, and it can be like a marriage partner, or it can be like a work partnership. If you have a work partnership, there's a lot of just, they're not wanting to make that final push through to the victory because it was reversed. So, or it's really it's such a tough haul and you don't know you'll make it, or they'll make it. Really, it's your partner, sorry. And it could be just in you're wondering and they're wondering if this relationship's going to make it past this point. So I'll ask later, what the events might be there. In the 8th house, and this is death, taxes, sex, and it's your house, Scorpio. What's happening here is you're turning away. Sometimes this feels like a victim situation, and turning away and walking away probably is the best answer in this case. So if you had a sexual affair, you're turning away from it. If you had a unexpected bill, like from taxes, or maybe some costs related to a death, and you're turning away from the drama of it and just taking care of it. You're not going to be victimized. Mentally, you just need to do what you have to do and remove yourself. And that's the energy you have in that area. The 9th house is the house of higher education, justice, can be legal battles, religion. It's also religion. You have hard work. So you've done some hard work, but harder work to come. This is reversed. So you're wanting to see some payoff from your energies. If you've gone back to school, you want to see some reward for what's happening, and there may or may not be a reward. It may not be time. Everything comes in its own due time, like the harvest. It just might not be time yet, but we're getting there to reap the rewards. Or if you're attending some type of religious group or church, and you're not getting quite the benefit that others are seeming to get from it, it's just a matter of time. The breakthrough hasn't come, the reward hasn't come yet. But again, this is higher learning, justice. If it's a legal battle, it may not work out. It doesn't look like you would have to pay, but it doesn't look like you'll get a settlement. It's something that's just, no contest, kind of. So that's happening there. Okay, so major arcana in your 10th house of reputation, self, career. You're being awakened to your purpose in the world, Scorpio. You're having an awakening. This is huge for you. And because it's in your outer world house, there might be other people that can tell you that they see that you really light up when you're doing this, or you're really in the zone, in the flow when you're doing this. They may be able to help you see that this is a real place for you. And Spirit wants you to wake up to who you are. So this is a big card for you in your 10th house. And you actually had a couple major arcana that came up. In your 3rd house of your mind, the moderation, that's huge for you. In your 4th house, ups and downs. Now, these ups and downs that are happening financially may push you into finding your career, that thing that's right for you. In the 11th house, we have strength. So in the 11th house, we have strength. And in the face of, and this is in your social group house, could be social media, might fall into this area, or I guess just groups of friends or people that you socialize with. You're feeling, now this was also reversed. You're not certain you have the strength to take on everything you have to take on in the social group. So if you do have a social media project or you have something along those lines, you don't know if you can handle some of the things you might have to face. She's facing the devil here. She's strong and she's handling it. But you have to face your fears. And although you have everything it takes to face any fear, you question it. You question it. No one else around you would question that you can handle this, but you question it. So be strong. Your 12th house is the house of everything unseen to you. And you have the 7 of Wands. So what's unseen to you is that it's 7 of Wands is the person that can do the battle to the end and conquer. I mean, this is really a conqueror, because this is the toughest battle. It's not just 5 of Wands competition. This is everyone's against you, and you have to continue to drive home your point, to drive home your truth. And it's going to take every ounce of your strength. So that makes sense with your 11th house, where it's going to take a lot. So in any case, that's unseen to you, this battle that's going to be waged, but you will summon the strength to handle it. So that's your horoscope spread, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clarify things. And what deck? I think I'll use the Thelema deck. So let's see, for Scorpio's first house. Oh, we had a jumper. So your first house was the King of Cups. And you also have the Page of Swords. So beware of gossip, either towards you or against you. Try not to participate in gossip. It's going to come back to you. Try to be positively emotional towards others. And the king usually is. But if you chose to take someone down, being a King of Cups, you could really do a lot of damage. And that, again, it kind of goes along with your moderation in the 3rd house mentally. Yeah, tone it down. Don't completely take someone down. And even in the event that there was someone that wants to do that to you or has gossiped about you, you're the King of Cups. They're just the Page of Swords. You don't even need to address them on this. So you just know that you're a much bigger person, and you have more mastery, and you don't need to sink to this level. 2nd house, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. So Scorpio has a belief in truth, an asset that is truth. Where will this be applied? What's the truth that they're finding? Okay. And that's completion. So basically, the truth is that you're complete. When you say something is complete and over, it's over. The final word you could probably put in, because you see it, you see the truth. And this is for the month of August. So there's events during this month where you may be able to wrap up a discussion with like a penetrating insight. I mean, you have the penetrating insight right now that can bring something to a conclusion. And that might be difficult, bringing together like the 7th house and the 12th house and your 11th house. You might be outspoken in social groups where people don't agree with your opinion. They do not get it, but you'll be able to drive home a really essential truth on a subject. 3rd house, and this is the mental house, house of what's going on with you mentally, your thoughts, what you're working with mentally. So moderation. And you have the Lovers. So you might have had a love affair recently and you had to make a decision. Things kind of show that a little bit, like there is someone and you've seen it, done it before, you know where this is going. Whether you guys want to go over this hump and stay with the relationship is up in the air. Whether you want to contribute to this relationship anymore is up in the air. You feel like walking away. But you also feel moderate. You're feeling like you should be moderate and rational for the most part and not going to any extremes mentally. So I don't know if this person betrayed you, the third party, or if you lost interest. Maybe more interested in your career and your calling right now, and they think your calling is them, possibly. I'm gonna get one more card for this. The Lovers, the thoughts that you feel. Oh boy. Oh, there's more going on here. Let me just grab these cards. Okay. So I got the Five of Wands, a new start, and Five of Swords. Okay, so I'm seeing like possibly there is an episode of deception. I do think this is your relationship. Sorry, I dropped that. That was Five of Wands. So you feel competitive energies. But so you can either play dirty and get competitive concerning this deception, make him pay or her pay, make the third party pay. But you're taking kind of a new start on it. You're making a choice, the Lovers. I think you're walking away. Honestly, I think you're walking away and you're going to have a new start. Yeah, that's what I see. So the fourth house of your ups and downs, your Wheel of Fortune, where it appeared reversed. I don't always take reversed as reversed, but there's something going on in the home. The wheel has shifted. Let's see what kind of shift we have here. King of Swords. So the truth is out. The truth is out. Possibly he told the truth or you told the truth. Everything has shifted. Your world has turned, on its axis. It's like a revelation for you. And I don't know if you're moving, they're moving, or you've just, your fourth house can be your deep self. It can have parental energies, but I'm not seeing a parental influence here. In the comments, let me know if there is a parental. I'm just not feeling it. But wow, I just think there's a big shift. It is affecting your money situation. But the cat's out of the bag. The truth is out. And Nine of Cups, also for the fourth house. So there's relief. You're happy. Nine of Cups is kind of more of a true happiness even than Ten of Cups, because Ten of Cups really represents a kind of an ending. Maybe that's like a honeymoon period of the Ten of Cups, and then, eventually it has to reduce to a Nine of Cups or something like that. But the Nine of Cups is true, solid happiness. So basically, Scorpio, you're cool, you're cool with it. This truth, you love the truth already. We've seen that. So in the fifth house, love affairs, children. Six of Pentacles. So in the the fifth house, you had the Four of Cups, which is kind of boredom. I've seen it, lived it, been there before. There's nothing special about this for me. You're also getting the Six of Pentacles, which is generosity. Um, it's also balancing the scales a little bit in what you give in a material plane, meaning not just money, but your energy to something. So it's a balancing of energy. Maybe you're feeling like, I don't care anymore, I don't give anything because you didn't give anything. And it doesn't have to just mean your relationship, it could be with children or in your creative project. Um, but it seems like there might be just a feeling that, I can't do any more for you and you've not done anything for me. This might provoke a balance coming from the other person where they realize that they have not given anything, and that might spur them to give back to you a little bit. Okay, your sixth house message. I was kind of curious about this one. You got a message at work or about work. What was that message concerning? Oh, here it is. Okay. The message is concerning two jobs. Two jobs. Balancing two jobs. How well are you balancing two jobs? Maybe you should consider this other career choice, something you're working on at home, maybe a project. Someone might have said, you have such talent in this area, why don't you pursue it? And it means that you have to work two jobs because the other project's not maybe bringing money. So that's the consideration. People have told you something and you're not letting it sink in because you dismiss it. But there's something that you're good at, Scorpio. And there's a calling also in your 10th house. So gosh, if this is hitting some of you, I mean, really think about it. There's something you could bring to the world. The final push in your 7th house, your house of relationships. It was the 9 of Wands that we had. What's going to happen there? Are you going to make the push? Judgment. Yeah, I'm thinking it depends on how grievous the error was. If the error was very grievous, the axe comes down. If, in judgments finding balance, maybe there's some counseling, maybe having a judge, someone, to be in between and help you sort it out, the two of you, might be necessary. Judgment, of course, could also indicate legal proceedings. So a divorce, or even if you're living together, maybe splitting up what you have. So in any case, it looks like to save this marriage or partnership, you might have to bring in somebody to help you to be able to see